All right, guys, we're back in the tackle dungeon today. And yes, we're going to be doing a fishing hack on Squarebill crankbaits. Typically, you're going to throw Squarebill crankbaits for bass. Of course, you can throw Squarebill crankbaits for redfish. There's a variety of fish that you can catch on Squarebill crankbaits. But when it comes to throwing a Squarebill crankbait, they are limited on the depth that they go. And what I mean by that, they have a very small lip. Granted, they have a very small lip and are pretty much in a depth zone of 3 to 5 foot. But what I'm going to show you today and the hack that I want to show you is super simple and easy to do. Anybody can do this in the boat. You don't have to be in a tackle dungeon. You don't have to be in a big shop to make this happen. And you can also do the prep work on your Squarebill crankbaits before your season starts. I know we're approaching winter in most areas, and we're getting ready to hit in the Squarebill season once those fish start coming back shallow again. And I suggest that in your tackle box, you go ahead and pre-assemble what I'm about to show you when it comes to Squarebill crankbaiting. Okay, so a standard Squarebill crankbait is going to have, very obvious, a square lip, okay? And most crankbaits are going to, Squarebills are going to come with a size 4 treble hook. First thing I'm going to do is change it to a size 3 treble hook, okay? It's a upsize in the hook. Most Squarebills have a lot of buoyancy in them. They're going to typically run and not get hung up as much as the earlier models of Squarebills. And when I say earlier, 5-6 years ago, Squarebills hadn't kind of peaked out in their efficiency and how they search. What I mean by that, how they search and what they do. So what I want to explain to you guys is, say you're fishing a rock bank or whatever, and you want that crankbait to get to that maybe 6 foot range, that 7 foot range. It might be a 45-degree bluff you're throwing it on, and you're only hitting bottom half the time, okay? And it's an irritating thing to be out there on the water and just be like, man, I just wish. So then you upsize your crankbait to a bigger size, but it's not the profile you want, because Squarebills, yes, we have 1.5s, 2.5s, 3s. I mean, they come in different size bodies, but basically the 1.5 or the 2.5 size body is what you're typically going to throw when you're throwing Squarebill crankbaits for bass. So what I'm going to show you is simple and easy. And basically, the first step in making your Squarebill go a lot deeper is changing out your split ring. And what I mean by that is, typically they're going to come with a cheap, thin wired O-ring. You're going to want to take that off, okay? So simply just take a pair of pliers, take it off, switch it out to a bigger O-ring, a heavier gauged O-ring, okay? Most crankbaits, whether you know it or not, most crankbaits will, if you add one O-ring, will sometimes sink a crankbait. Like, they have them so balanced out that just the size of an O-ring will take a crankbait and sink it, okay? So number one thing you're going to do, and it's simple, take off the factory O-ring, add an upsize an O-ring. And I'm not going to sit here and give you the size model because I don't know what particular Squarebill that you're throwing. So you're going to want to take that off, add an O-ring, and second, this is the biggest key, you're going to be adding a second O-ring. So you have 2 O-rings hanging from one eye, okay? And basically, you can do it 2 ways. You can take 2 O-rings and put it in the back. And I'm going to explain to you why you would want to put one in the back, why you would want to put one in the front, or possibly both. They both have key elements in the way this is going to run. So let's just say you put a second upgraded O-ring in the front, okay, with the number 3 treble hook. Number 1, you're adding weight with the treble hook. 2, you're adding weight with the upsize of your O-ring. And number 3, you're adding a whole nother weight. Now, some people like to wrap weight around the shank of the hook. What happens when you do that, your hook rides low in the water and it gets hung up a lot more. I want my weight to be center balanced. There's some people that use like the tape or whatever it may be. The weight of the tape is pretty much the weight of the O-ring, okay? So when you add one on the front, what are you doing? You're gonna take the nose of that crankbait and the nose is gonna go down a little bit deeper. What's that gonna do? It's gonna pull it down deeper than it would if it was a stock model. Say it was sitting in the water like this, the angle's gonna be here. Now that we added an O-ring in the front, we're taking the angle to here and it's gonna go deeper. Just a simple O-ring upgrade and adding an O-ring is gonna make it run deeper. Now, for you believers that believe in tight wiggle versus wide wiggle, okay? You can leave off the front and add one to the back of the crankbait. What that's gonna do is this. This is the mode, this is what drives the crankbait, the lip, okay? So say if you put one in the back and you're in the winter time, it's cold, and you believe that fish actually like and study tighter wobbles, then you're gonna wanna add one in the back. And what that's gonna do is tighten this wobble down. So instead of it having a wide wobble, just, you know, let's just do it like this. Instead of it having a wide wobble like this in the back end, by adding weight to the back end of this crankbait, this Squarebill is not gonna be able to drive that back end back and forth. So you're tightening the wobble versus like this, okay? So the weight in the back is making it a tighter wobble Squarebill than a wide wobbling Squarebill. Now you can add them both in the front and the back, and you have, you know, it's going to go down a lot deeper. You got a tight wobbler. It's going to definitely go deep because you got a lot of weight. Now, you're not going to want to do this if you're fishing around a lot of wood, okay? This is going to it's going to cause your crankbait where factory hooks and factory O-rings, it might drift up at this. If you stopped it, it goes. Now, if you double the O-rings and upside the O-rings, you're going to, instead of it drifting up, it may suspend, it may sit still. I suggest not doing this if you're fishing around laydowns and structure like that. Basically, that's a reaction bite anyways. When you're covering a lot of water, you're just going, you know, whether it's pea gravel banks, bluff walls, just something that you're trying to get a little bit deeper in, this fishing hack is going to help you modify your Squarebill very quick, efficiently, and you're going to be able to get more bites. Guys, I appreciate you liking and subscribing. You guys have been freaking phenomenal to me on my first year. We've grown 16,000 subscribers in my first year. I appreciate it. Guys, if you're new to the channel, go back and look at some of my fishing hacks if this is what you like. I got tournament footage. I put out a little bit of hunting footage, but not much. But I hope you guys enjoy this channel. Hit that sub button if you enjoyed this. I got a lot more coming at you, and I appreciate you guys' support. And